Folks, welcome back to Theory Hammer. We're taking a look at the Tau Codex today. I'm very excited. You can probably tell by my voice. Let's get into this. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You are watching Theory Hammer. I'm your very, very attractive host, KevBot. And today, we're going to go over the Tau Codex. We're going to do a little Codex review here. Now, if you guys like that kind of content, which I hope you do, strike swiftly against the like button, subscribe to Theory Hammer, hit Nurgle's bell icon, leave us a comment, check out other videos, do all that YouTube stuff. We'd appreciate it very much, specifically this guy here. Let's get right into this, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm opened into the one detachment that is just completely ridiculous in all types of ways, so let's go back to the first detachment here. In fact, let's go back one more page to the Army Rule. Alright, we're just getting right into it. If your army faction is Tau Empire, then your shooting phase, units from your army can work in Alright, so each time you select a unit to shoot, if it is not an observer unit, it can use this ability. If it does, select one other friendly unit with this ability that is also eligible to shoot, excluding fortifications, battle shock units, and observer units, until the end of the phase. This unit is considered a guided unit, and the friendly unit is considered an observer unit. Then select one enemy unit that is visible to both your units. It's a lot of words. You basically pick one unit, you then pick another unit, this unit guides this unit, and they shoot something, and you get +1 to hit. So that's how it works. There's a little bit of nuance to this that they kind of cleared up. I'm not even going to go into it. It's been cleared up. So each time a model in the guided unit makes an attack that targets the spotted unit, improve the ballistic skill characteristic by 1. This stacks with heavy, just so you know. And you also get ignores cover. That's great too. And then each time a guided unit makes an attack that does not target their spotted unit, worsen the ballistic skill of that attack by 1. This is stupid. This should be deleted. This should not be in here, because this is a stupid rule that doesn't need to exist. I can't split fire. My whole army, I have to build it around units that shoot stuff and units that guide things. So I'm like, cool, I've got a big squad of cool things here, and I want to shoot at 2 different places. I want to guide over here and shoot my SMS over here. Well, you can't, because you're -1. You can, but you're not going to do any damage to anything. So the army literally right here says, don't split fire, or just don't use this ability, and you can just hit on your normal ballistic skill, which sucks, is 4 up. So this should be deleted, get it out of here, but it's there. Then you have drones. So drones, oh no. I might have to adjust the lighting here a little bit, because that is not cool. How's that? Is that better? If it's a little washed out, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get as much light on this thing as possible so that you guys can see it. So drones, they give you different stuff. You have a Guardian drone, -1 to be wounded against ranged attacks. You have a gun drone, gives the bearer a twin-linked assault weapon for 2 shots of strength 5, hitting on 5s, no AP, 1 damage, 20-inch range. The marker drone gives you the marker-like keyword and allows you to be an observer unit even if you advanced. The missile drone gives the bearer a 2-shot weapon that's strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage, 30-inch range, hits on 5s. Any drone stuff's going to hit on 5s. Your shield drone gives you +1 to your wounds characteristic. So these are the same exact things that we saw in the Tau Index. So pretty much unchanged here, although I don't think drones are a unit you can take anymore, but they were massively overcosted anyway, so no one took them. Alright, so we got Kauyon. Kauyon. This is the detachment that was from the Index. They've redone it a little bit here. You get the same ability. So from the 3rd battle round onward, ranged weapons equipped by Tau Empire models from your army have sustained hits 1, or sustained hits 2 if they're shooting their spotted unit. So if you become guided and you shoot your spotted unit, you get sustained hits 2, but only from battle rounds 3, 4, and 5. It's bad. That's a thumbs down. Alright? So Exemplar of the Kauyon is your first enhancement. This is the same. So a Tau Empire model only, not a Kroot guy. While he's leading a unit, the Patient Hunter Detachment rule applies to that unit from the 2nd battle round onward instead of the 3rd. So this was really good in the Index because you could take 6-man units of Crisis Suits, give them cyclic ion blasters or plasma guns like I would do because I just could not mentally handle killing a bunch of my own guys and giving my opponent points every time I wanted to shoot them. Like, shoot at them. I give them points for shooting at them because my guys overheat and explode and they're 2 points apiece. So, anyway, same ability there, but only going to work on a 3-man unit now, unless you take, you know, something like a Fireblade or something like that. Still pretty good, though. I think I'll make a separate video that kind of goes over the... Like, I'll do a tactic as a separate video on this. That's what I'm going to do. So, Precision of the Patient Hunter. Each time the bearer makes a ranged attack, you add 1 to the hit roll. From the 3rd battle round on, you add 1 to the wound roll. 3rd battle round onward is terrible. I hate that it's on there, but it's not bad. I mean, it takes one of your suits, your commander suits, hitting on 2s all the time. So, hitting on 2s is pretty good. We need to get points, because the points are somewhere. They're somewhere here. Point values. Riptide Battlesuit, 245 points. I'm just going to assume that these are already outdated. Here's what we care about. So for Kauyon, Exemplar of the Kauyon, 20 points. Precision of the Patient Hunter is 15. So the next one we got is the Solid Image Projection thingy bop. So let's go back here. Solid Image Projection Unit. Say that 3 times fast. Tau Empire model only. After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Tau Empire units from your army, redeploy them. When doing so, you can put them into strategic reserve regardless of how many things are there. So this happens after both players have deployed their armies. This does not happen after the first turn starts, before anybody takes a turn. So it's okay, because you can deploy things in stupid positions and then redeploy them intentionally, like deploy them stupidly on purpose, maybe try to throw off your opponent, make them put units in places where they wouldn't normally put them, because you're like, I'm gonna put my Hammerhead like right out in the open, right up here. And they're gonna be like, okay, well, I'll put some stuff back here to shoot you first turn. And they're like, just kidding, I'm gonna redeploy it. So it's okay. Through Unity Devastation, Tau Empire model only, while the bearer is leading a unit, each time they're an observer unit, until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in their guided unit get lethal hits against the spotted unit. Specifically against the spotted unit. So, not bad, gives you lethals and sustained, so that's pretty good. So if you're targeting your spotted unit, you have sustained hits 2 and lethal hits. Pretty good. Now, the Through Unity Devastation is, Through Unity Devastation, 25 points. So this actually changed. The Exemplar of the Kauyon, this was 15 points before, it's 20 now. And then Precision of the Patient Hunter, I think was 20, and now it's 15. So for strats, we have a Tempting Trap. It's in your shooting phase, 1 CP. It is battle tactics. You pick a Tau Empire unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot. The first time you use the stratagem, you must also select an objective marker that is not in your opponent's deployment zone. Until the end of the battle, this becomes your trap objective. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit within range of the trap marker, and you add 1 to the wound roll. Restriction, you cannot use the stratagem during the first or second battle rounds. Fucking garbage. Fucking garbage. Next, Point Blank Ambush, Battle Tactics, 1 CP. It happens in your shooting phase. You target a unit that hasn't shot yet. Till the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack within 9 inches of an enemy unit, a ranged attack, you improve the AP by 1, except you can't use it during the turns that matter. You can only use it during the 3rd, 4th, and 5th battle round. So, it makes me want to scream, but you got Coordinated to Engage. That's the next one. 1 CP, Battle Tactics, in your shooting phase. You target a Tau Empire unit from your army that has just been selected as an observer. This is the same. So until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack against the spotted unit, improve the BS by 1, and you gain Ignores Cover if you have the marker light keyword. So it allows you to, you have a unit, you then pick your guided unit, or whatever the fuck you do. I'm pretty sure you do that, but it doesn't matter. You shoot stuff, right? So this guided unit is going to shoot this other unit. Your guided unit can then become basically guided itself by using this. So that's how that works. Combat Embarkation. Also, this is a War Gear, 1 CP. In your opponent's charge phase, just after an enemy unit declares a charge, you target a Tau Empire unit from your army that was the target of the charge in a friendly transport. Your unit embarks within the transport, but every model must be within 3 inches of the transport, and there must be space for them to get inside. So, it's going to be okay in certain situations, like where somebody doesn't, I don't know, it's weird, because that means that your unit didn't get shot, it means the transport lived, maybe the transport's behind a piece of terrain or something, but you've got to be within 3 inches of it, so unless you like drive up to the, like if this is the wall, unless you like drive up to it, pop out, shoot something, and then expect this unit to get charged, then you can just hop back inside through the wall. That's a thing you could do, keeps the unit safe, but you're, again, like, it's only when you're getting charged, so I don't know. Photon grenades, it's not something I ever used when I played Tau when the index was out, so no. Photon grenades. This happens in your opponent's charge phase. It's 1 CP, it's a War Gear strat. You target a Tau Empire unit from your army that was selected as the target of a charge. The enemy unit takes a Battle Shock test and subtracts 2 from the charge rolls that they make. Again, this will be fine in certain situations. Most of the time, though, it's just, I don't know, you're not going to use it very much. -2 to charge rolls is really good, except when they're like 3 inches in front of you. So if they have a far charge, this is especially good when somebody is deep striking. So if somebody's deep striking and they want to charge your unit, they have an 11-inch charge to make now, and they take a Battle Shock test, so that's okay. Then you have Wall of Mirrors. This is a new one for this detachment. Battle Tactics 1 CP. It's at the end of your opponent's fight phase, so you probably already know what it does without reading the rest of it. You pick a stealth unit, so either a stealth Ghostkeel or Commander Shadowsun. You remove it from the battlefield, put it into strategic reserves. You just can't do it if you're within engagement range. So overall, Kauyon, it's fine. It's not as good as this one though, which is the Mont'ka. Mont'ka, baby. Mont'ka. So Killing Blow. This is stupid. During the first, second, and third battle rounds, ranged weapons equipped by Tau Empire models in your army have lethal hits. While a unit is guided, it gains assault as well. Absolutely, right off the bat, crazy good. Getting lethal hits on all your weapons, it's not as good as getting sustained hits, but it's better than this, it's better than Kauyon, because it happens from the battle rounds that actually matter. Specifically the second and the third battle round, those are the ones where this is really going to come into play the most. But yeah, getting assault and being able to get lethal hits, that makes your Riptide so much better. Gives them all lethal hits. Just turns 1, 2, and 3, got lethal hits. Ghostkeels, lethal hits. Skyrays, lethal hits. Hammerheads don't need lethal hits, but Skyrays, lethal hits plus assault. There's Broadsides, lethal hits plus assault. It gets a little outrageous, and we haven't even talked about any of this stuff yet. So let's do that next. Exemplar of the Mont'ka, Tau Empire model only, while the bear is leading a unit. The Killing Blow detachment rule applies to that unit during the 4th battle round as well. So kind of the opposite of Exemplar of the Kauyon. This gives it to you for an extra turn. This one lets you get it a turn sooner. So this is great, but it's probably the worst one. Strike swiftly. Tau Empire model only at the start of the battle before any moves are made. So this is when you actually want these to proc. So before any moves are made using the scout ability, you can select up to 2 friendly Tau Empire units within 6 inches of the bearer. They don't have to be battle suits. They don't have to be infantry. They can be fucking anything. These could be Riptides. These could be Skyrays. This could be like 2 units with, like 2 Devilfish with guys inside. You just pick 2 units and they gain scout 6 inches. That is stupid. Very, 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 very good. So Exemplar, let's check the points real quick while we're here. Exemplar of the, where are you? It's not in order. So 10 points. What? 10 points for this to get lethal hits from battle rounds 4 and up until battle rounds 4. Strike swiftly, 25 points. Yeah, that's still very good for 25 points. Strategic Conqueror, absolutely, hands down, don't care what any of you say, the best enhancement in the index. Tau Empire model only at the start of the first battle round before the first turn begins. Select 1 objective marker on the battlefield. While a friendly Tau Empire model is within range of that objective marker, the bearer is on the battlefield. Okay, so you have to have the guy on the battlefield as well. You add 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in that unit. So you pick the middle objective. Everything that's friendly units, they get +1 OC while they're on that objective, as long as the bearer is on the battlefield. So this makes your flyers OC1, which is great because your your flyer thing, the Hammerhead flyer, what's it called? I don't know. But the Hammerhead flyer thing gets OC1. The dogs, the hounds, the Kroot Hounds, they become OC1. All your infantry, like all your breachers, all your fire warriors, but who takes fire warriors? All your breachers, OC3 apiece. This is stupid. Coordinated exploitation, excuse me, can't read, the whole can't read thing. Tau Empire model only while the bear is leading a unit. Each time it's an observer unit until the end of the phase. Ranged weapons equipped by models in their guided unit have the sustained hits 1 ability while targeting the spotted unit. So again, this is going to be the opposite of this. So while this gives you lethal hits when your army rule is sustained or your detachment rule, this gives you sustained while your detachment rule is lethal. So they're all really good. Like straight up, this is good to have just till round 4. Least useful because you don't know if your unit's going to live that long. This is dumb, being able to give things scout that don't have it. Hey, I'll pay 12.5 points to give anything in my army scout 6 inches. Are you fucking kidding me? That's insanely good. This is dumb. This should not be printed. This should be just torn out of the rules, thrown away, burn it. It's insanely good. And then coordinated exploitation, also really good when you combine these two together. So like, off to a good start, I think. Now we have the stratagems. Pinpoint counteroffensive. Battle tactics, 1 CP. Oh, sorry. So Strategic Conqueror, 15 points. Why is that 15 points? Are you fucking kidding me? It's 15 fucking points, dude. What? Who wrote this? Okay. That's 15 points. Coordinated exploitation, 20 points. Dude, why is this 15 points? That's incredible. That's incredible. Holy fucking shit. Alright, pinpoint counteroffensive. Battle tactics, 1 CP, any phase. You pick a Tau Empire unit that isn't Kroot from your army that was just destroyed. So you can use the stratagem even though it was just destroyed. We know that. Just delete it. You don't need to write it in there. We understand that. If it's printed right there, use it on a unit that was just destroyed. It's fucking obvious that this has, like, god damn it, GW. Okay, so the effect. Until the end of the battle, each time a Tau Empire unit from your army makes a ranged attack, makes an attack that targets the enemy unit that just destroyed your unit. I'm so excited I can't even speak. Reroll the hit roll. Wait, so I get lethal hits and I get to reroll hit rolls? So you're telling me that if I move a Piranha up, you know, I scouted up 9 inches to make a wall between 2 pieces of terrain and you got a bunch of tanks and I just like, hey, time walk. You're telling me when you kill my Piranha, I can use 1 CP and I can just reroll all hits against your Leviathan Dreadnought or whatever the fuck, your Land Raider, your Imperial Knight, your whatever, your Custodes unit. You kill some random ass unit in my army that isn't Kroot, and I get to reroll all hits with lethals against it for 1 CP for the rest of the game until the end of the battle. What is happening? Aggressive mobility, battle tactics, 1 CP, your movement phase. You pick a Tau Empire unit from your army that has not been selected to move yet. Don't roll its advance roll, just auto move 6. Alright guys, so at a glance, this sounds pretty bad, right? A lot of your stuff moved pretty far already, it's got flying, you know, it doesn't really need this. Except there's broadsides, and broadsides are really slow. But now, broadsides, they get to move 11 inches, get lethal hits and assault. Like, that seems good. In any other situation, that's pretty nice to have if you need to get onto an objective or something along those lines. You don't have to worry about what you're going to roll. You just get it. You just get a 6-inch move. But let's be honest, folks. You're going to take 3 broadsides. You're going to give this to the broadsides, and they're going to be moving faster than your fucking battle suits. They're going to be shooting railguns. They're going to be like, pew, 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 and just shooting railguns across the fucking... It's insane. So, super duper good. Focus fire. It's in your shooting phase, battle tactics. Start of your shooting phase. When you do it, you target 2 Tau Empire units from your army that has not been selected to shoot and an enemy unit. Till the end of the phase, each time an attack in either of your units, each time either model, then, okay, so each time models in either unit make an attack. It can only target that unit, and only if it's eligible. And then when resolving the attacks, improve the armor penetration by 1. What's this restriction here? You cannot use this stratagem during the 4th and 5th battle rounds. Well, who fucking cares? Because everything's going to be dead by battle rounds 4. So, yeah, doesn't matter. Plus 1 AP on 2 units, so Jesus Christ, dude. Again, it's Tau Empire units. So you drive up here, 2 Devilfish. Dudes, get out. You don't even need to do this, but I'm just saying. Drive up with 2 Devilfish. Get out. I'm gonna shoot something. That's sweet. They have lethal hits. They have assault. They already come with assault. But now, they have plus 1 AP. So they're strength 6, AP 2, ignores cover, so basically AP 3, re-rolling wounds because you're on an objective. Like a 90-point unit putting out 30, well, okay, plus the character, putting out 30 shots, strength 6, basically AP 3 because of ignores cover, and re-roll wounds. Dude, get out of here. This happens on 2 units too, so it's like half of a command point. That's crazy. So 60 shots coming out of 2 units, that's gonna be about 58 hits. Oh, I'll just say we miss with 1 each. 58 hits. Re-rolling all wounds. That's a 55%. So if it's on 50, we're gonna get 25 plus a little extra. So you're looking at like 30 wounds from being able to do this on like something that's like that you're wounding on 4s, like a Custodes squad. Bye-bye. 30 wounds on a Custodes squad. Goodbye. Like, it's just craziness. Combat debarkation. So 1 CP, battle tactics, because why not? Why not just have them all be battle tactics? There's 4 battle tactics. Battle tactics, 1 CP. This is in your shooting phase, 1 Tau Empire unit from your army that disembarks from a transport this turn. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets the closest enemy unit, re-roll the wound roll. That seems pretty good. The problem that I have with this is that usually, and I mean this seriously, usually the things that are going to be popping out of transports are going to be breachers, and breachers are already going to re-roll wounds if they're targeting something that's on an objective. If in the off chance you're targeting something else that's not on an objective, that could be nice. This is good on things like Pathfinders. I'm just not sure what else you really load up into a transport. Admittedly, I've only really used breachers, so maybe there's something out there that I'm not thinking of in the moment here, but that seems okay. reroll wounds is never going to be bad, especially when it costs 1 CP. It's just you got to get out of the transport, so it kind of limits which units can actually benefit from this. No restrictions, nothing. Pulse Onslaught, 2 CP, Strategic Ploy. It's in your shooting phase. You target a Tau Empire infantry unit, excluding Kroot, from your army that has just shot, and one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, that enemy unit is shaken. While they're shaken, they subtract 2 from their move characteristic and subtract 2 from their advance and charge rolls. Dude. What? It's 2 CP, so it is priced correctly. Is it though? Maybe it's not. It's probably priced correctly, making you -2 to your move and your charge or your advance. So that's -4 total. So -2 to your move, -4 to your advance, total of -4 inches. -2, -2, it's 4. So a total of -4 to your move entirely. That can be pretty significant. And if you're just like, if you put a unit out there, you kind of bait your opponent out, bring out your transport, get the guys out, you know, shoot at something, and then, hell, like split fire one guy. Split fire one guy off over here, make them -2 to their move. So kill this unit over here, shoot like one guy. In fact, one Tau Empire infantry unit from your army that has just shot. Okay, so you pick a non-monster vehicle. Okay, so what you can do here, you can literally have the unit shoot everything over here. Take your Fireblade or your stupid little drone that you take on the Sergeant with the 2 shots, strength 5, shoot it over here. Doesn't have to hit, right? It does have to hit. All right, so you have to hit with it, but I think you get the point. You just take your Fireblade or some other thing, shoot it over here just to proc this, murder the unit you care about with all your reroll wounds, your AP2, because your AP1 plus ignores cover. So you kill the thing over here, and then you shoot something over here, get at least 1 hit. You're going to be hitting on 4s if you're using a Fireblade. So shoot a couple Fireblade shots with this, and then just make another unit -2 to their move, charge, and advance. Holy shitballs. Okay, counterfire defense systems. 2 CP. It's in your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit selects its targets. You target 1 Tau Empire unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of those units' attacks until the end of the phase. Each time an attack is allocated to your unit, subtract 1 from the damage. I'm so excited. I literally can't speak. And you know what? I don't care. You guys have seen the whole thing, raw, uncut. Here we go. Because I just can't. I love Tau. They're one of my favorite armies. So, what the fuck, dude? It's like, hey, I got a Riptide. I'm -1 damage now. Oh, wait, no, actually, I have Broadsides. They have 9 wounds apiece, a toughness 6, I think. Toughness 6 or 7. They're toughness 6. Pretty sure they're 6. They got a 2-up save. They're in cover. What's good? I'm -1 damage. Like, oh, this is so fucking stupid. Like, dude, this detachment is so ridiculous. All right, let's move on from that crazy fucking nonsense to the Retaliation Cadre. Another one of those detachments that's real fucking good. So you got Bonded Heroes as your detachment rule. Each time, so this is specific to Tau Empire battlesuits. Each time a Tau Empire battlesuit model from your army makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 12 inches, improve the strength characteristic of that attack by 1. If you're within 6 inches, improve the armor penetration as well. So this, I really like this as well, because I've always liked playing Tau in a more aggressive way. It's just, the game is played that way where you've got to get up onto the objectives, you got to do cool stuff, you got to be in the center of the table. That's just how it is in 9th and 10th edition at least. Hopefully they change this at some point where I can like choose. You know how you can pick like fixed primary or fixed secondaries or tactical secondaries? Yeah, do the same thing for primaries, please. I want to be able to pick a primary, and I want you to be able to pick primary. That way we can play different games, kind of. I don't know. Am I crazy? Anyway, so this is super duper good. This makes all your Melta strength 10. This takes your broadsides, or not your broadsides, but it makes your broadsides strength 13 and AP 5. This takes things like the Riptide, the guy with the big gun. The Riptide becomes strength, I think he's 8 when he overcharges, so he becomes strength 9, possibly AP 4. So that's pretty fucking good. But overall, it's all on battlesuits. So all your battlesuits, they want to get up real fast, they want to get in real close, and they want to just do a ton of damage. And this is really nice to have. It's unfortunate that you don't get this on your whole army. It probably would be too much if you could get it on your whole army. Like, dude, you got breachers coming in there. They're actually AP2 because of this, because they got out of transport. So your transport can advance because it's a Devilfish, that's its rule. So it advances up to here, dudes pop out, they're within 6 inches, goodbye. Strength 7, AP2, rerolling wounds, hitting on 2s because of marker light. So that's not how it works. It's only your battle suits, but this makes all your flamer strength 5. This makes all your burst cannon strength 6. This makes your plasma strength 9. It makes the plasma AP 4. It makes your missile pods AP 2 and strength 8. That's interesting, actually. That's interesting. So strength 8 AP 2 missile pods with ignore cover. That might be something here. Hopefully they have a way to deep strike within 3 inches. I think they do. But you come down within 3 inches, you shoot a bunch of stuff. It doesn't sound that good. Actually, no, I'm saying it out loud. But being the +1 AP and the +1 strength just on whatever, literally pick any battlesuit unit, really good. Strength 13 AP 5 railguns on broadsides seem good. Strength 9 AP 4 plasma guns on broadsides seem good. Strength 10 Melta is good. Take it from me. I play a Firestorm Assault Force and I lose every game with it, but you know what? I like being Strength 10 and I like what else it gives me. But the +1 AP especially, that is so good. It's so good. A lot of your army can move very, very quickly. So let me just give you the scenario here. My opponent's in the center, and they kind of got stuff up here. Maybe they kind of moved around the terrain that's kind of on the side. They're kind of hiding. Great, they're exactly where I want them to be. I move 12 inches, I'm within 6, I'm +1 strength, +1 AP, get fucked. So good. So good. Alright, enhancements. Puretide Ingrain Neurochip. Battlesuit only. Once per turn, you can target the bear with a stratagem even if you've already targeted a different unit this phase. So it's not for free. So one of them's 2 CP, 2 of them are 2 CP. You get to do this for free, only on battle tactic ones, so literally only this. What? You know, question for you guys, since I'm recording this and can't really look right now. If this is not for free, so you can target the bear's unit with a stratagem, even if it's already been used. If it's not for free, can you do it on non-battle tactic stratagems? Because something is telling me the data slate, whatever the rule was where they changed that, I think it's specifically applied to stratagems that were free, but I don't recall. So let me know down below. Starflare Ignition System. So the Puretide Ingrain Neuro Boy. How much do you cost? So, Retaliation Cadre. Neurochip is 25 points. No. Starflare Ignition System. Tau Battlesuit only at the end of your opponent's turn. If it's not within a game range of anyone used, you can move from the battlefield, place in its retreat. Okay. So this is on the whole unit. That's pretty interesting. Oh, it's a shame nothing can attach to broadsides. Could you imagine, dude? Attaching something to broadsides and just being like, boop, 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 boop. That'd be pretty good. So this is going to be good on your battlesuits, your regular battlesuits. It can only be taken on a battlesuit guy. You have 2 options there. You have an Enforcer and you have a Coldstar. So they're the only things that can take any of these. That's pretty good, though. I'll have to make a Tactica where I go into a little bit more detail with this. I'm going to need to get some games in with this new codex before I make that Tactica anyway, or else I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot. So I'm gonna use this and see if this is any good. See if I can be a good enough player to make something cool happen with this. Internal Grenade Rack, battlesuit only. Don't care about this, but the bear has the grenades keyword. Each time he ends a normal move, you can select an enemy unit. It moved over. Roll 66, for each 4+, they suffer a mortal wound. So basically, he gets the grenade strat for free when he flies over something. The problem there is that you have to fly over something, which is, it's just not going to happen all that often. If you do, it's going to happen for probably 1 turn. Prototype Weapon System, same deal, battlesuit only. Each time the bear is selected to shoot, select either the lethal or sustained hits 1 ability. Until those attacks have been resolved, ranged weapons equipped by the bearer have the selected ability, not the unit. So, Prototype Weapon System. 15 points, okay. That's actually not so bad. 15 points to give either your melta guns or your plasma guns, depends on what you want to give to your commander, but giving them all lethal and sustained 1, that's actually pretty cool. That'll actually make him shoot pretty damn hard. What was this other one here? The Starflare was 20, the Grenade Rack. Grenade Rack is 30 points? Get out of here with that shit, dog. Alright, so let's talk about some strats for the Retaliation Cadre. Failsafe Detonator, 2 CP, Epic Deed. It's in any phase just after a battlesuit model from your army was destroyed. You target that unit. You can use the stratagem even though it was destroyed. Anyway, alright, so this is what it does. You can either decide if it explodes or not. So before removing the model from play, if it has Deadly Demise, do not roll for that ability. Instead, you can choose whether the result is a 1 or a 6. If your model does not have Deadly Demise, roll a d6. For each unit within 6 inches of it, on a 4+, they suffer d3 mortal wounds. So, pretty good, actually. This is going to be really good on a unit of battle suits. So, you know, they come down. Is that one of these things? Shortened blade. Yeah, so they come down within 3 inches. Boom. Kill a tank. Cool. You kill the unit. Boom, I explode with my guy. It just happens. I've decided it's just going to happen. I roll 4 up for each thing within 6 inches, which is going to be a lot of things because people aren't expecting you to be able within 3 inches, and they're probably not expecting this either. So unless somebody like straight up knows you have this and they're just expecting you to use it, you come down within 3 inches, a whole bunch of stuff surrounds you, and you just go boom and explode. Also very good on something like a Riptide that is on its last legs. Zoom that shit up and just let it auto-explode. Zoom that shit up, charge something that's going to kill it, and then auto-explode in the middle of your opponent's army for 2 CP, do a ton of mortal wounds, because I'm pretty sure the Riptide is Deadly Demise D6. Yeah, this is great. Stim Injectors is not. It's 1 CP war gear, it's in your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase. Just after an enemy unit selects its targets, you target a battlesuit unit from your army that was a target of their attacks. You gain a 6-up, feel no pain. That's a strat you have. 6-up, feel no pain is going to be best on big units. You were right. Very good. So things like Broadsides, 9 wounds, toughness 6, 2-up save, that's going to be good for them. It's going to be good on Riptides because they're already... So Riptides, I'll just mention now, got much, much better. Since I made my, my Tactica video before this came out. When I made my Tactica video on Tau, Riptides were fucking garbage. Just a little bit after that came out, the Balanced Data Slate came out, which lowered their points even further. They're 165 points now for a Riptide. I mean, a Ghostkeel is 160 at that point, so the Riptide for 165, oh, it's great. Absolutely great. It's got a 4-up invuln. It's not very tough, but it's got a 4-up invuln. It's got a pretty decent gun. It's fast. It can, it can fall back and shoot. It's a pretty good unit. So, for 160 points only. That's the only reason why it's useful. Pretty good on that, though. 6-up feel no pain just makes it a little bit more durable. Although I'd much rather be able to use this. Dude, that's so good. Deep Strike a Riptide, although I'm not sure if it has Deep Strike anymore. It probably doesn't. Deep Strike Riptide in there, blow it up. Okay, so Shortened Blade. It's in your movement phase for 2 CP. Battlesuit unit from your army using the Deep Strike ability. It can set up within 3 inches. It cannot charge. That's what that one does. So we've seen this in a few different codexes, indexes, this ability. We've seen this ability before. So you can't charge when it happens. You come within 3. Good. The Archon Protocol, 1 CP, Battle Tactics, is in your shooting phase. Battlesuit unit is the target. So you target a battlesuit unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit that contains 6 or more models, you get sustained hits 1. If the unit has 11 or more models, you gain sustained hits 2 instead. So, yeah. It's on a battlesuit unit only. So, all the different new battlesuit units, it's just, they took a battlesuit unit, they split it into 3. So you got all the new battlesuit units, Commanders, Riptides, Broadsides. So, fine. I'm not sure when you're ever going to shoot those types of units at a unit that has 11 or more models, but if you find yourself in that situation, 1 CP, sustained hits 2, or 1, depending on how many guys are in the squad. Torchstar Gambit, 1 CP in your shooting phase. 1 Tau Empire battlesuit from your army that can fly, and whose attacks have been resolved. If your unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move. If it does, it cannot declare charge. This is very, very good. This gives you move, shoot, move. So you come in, kill a unit, and then move again behind terrain so that you're safe, out of charge range, all that kind of stuff. Very, very nice to have, for sure. Alright, then you got these Grav Inhibitor Field. Yeah. This is 1 CP, Strategic Ploy. It's in your opponent's charge phase just after an enemy unit declares a charge. Target a battlesuit unit from your army. The enemy unit must take a battle shock test and roll d6 for each model in the unit. For each 6, they suffer 1 mortal wound. Not very strong. 5-man units, you might do 1. 10-man units, you might do 2. So it's just not enough. I don't think it's very good. The battle shock part is probably the best part of this. This isn't a good stratagem, but the battle shock part is probably the best part of this, because if you do end up battle shocking this thing that's charging you, hopefully it's an important unit of your opponents, they can't put any strats on them, they can't do shit. So that's pretty good as well. Alright, the last one we got here, the Kroot Hunting Pack, the one you were all waiting for. Here we go, guys. Get excited for the Kroot Hunting Pack. Aren't you excited? I'm so excited. This is what they get. Each time a Kroot model from your army makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. If the target of that attack is below its starting strength, add 1 to the wound roll if they're below half strength. Okay. It's not bad, actually. Skirmish Fighters. Kroot models from your army have a 6-up invuln against melee and a 5-up invuln against ranged. If you have Kroot, so this detachment, Kroot Carnivores or Battle Line. Okay. So, 5-up invuln, army-wide, against range. That's, I was going to say, that's probably where it matters the most. 6-up invuln. 6-up invuln is pretty good, too. So this isn't bad. You know, you shoot some pot shots at something, take a single wound off of it, or kill a single model with something. The rest of your stuff is +1 to hit. And now this is cool because you don't actually have the marker light key, where you don't have the for the greater good or whatever the hell it's called, so you can't actually guide Kroot units. So this kind of gives it to them in a different way. It makes it so that once they're damaged, they're +1 to hit. If they're real damaged, they're +1 to wound. So I could really see this being pretty good, actually, if you were able to kind of focus units down. Once you get them below half strength, you can get in there, you're +1 to hit and wound. That's a very strong ability. That's a very big damage boost. The problem is that we might not have a lot of things that put out a whole lot of damage to begin with. If I can do 1 wound to a Space Marine, being able to do 2 wounds to a Space Marine isn't that much better, even though it's 100% better, mathematically speaking. So, you get what I'm saying there. Let's talk about the enhancements. You got Kroot Hawk Flock. I'm gonna fuck up so much of this. Kroot Hawk Flock. Kroot model only. Ranged weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit having Norse cover. And enemy units cannot be set up within 12 inches of the bearer. Give it to the unit. Why? Why only the bearer? Bearer's here, units around the bearer. You come in with a 9 anyway, most of the time. Oh damn, Bitcoin hit 70,000. Sweet. Anyway, root carved weapons are not next, so let's talk about the points for this before I lose my train of thought. Alright, Kroot Hunting Pack. The flock is 10 points. Worth it for 10 points. Gives your unit ignores cover, and it makes so you can't come in, you can't be set up as reinforcements within 12 inches of the bearer. This is definitely good against things like this, that can just come in within 3 inches. It's pretty good for that. But otherwise, I just wish you gave it to the unit. So, Nomadic Hunter, Kroot Trail Shaper only, specifically the Trail Shaper. While he's leading a unit, you add 3 to the move characteristic of models in that unit, and ranged weapons equipped by them have Assault. Okay. How much is the Nomadic Hunter? Nomadic Hunter, 20 points. +3 moves. I think that makes them move 10. I think Kroot moves 7. So that would give them a 10-inch move and give them Assault. Nah. Maybe. Let's not write any of these off quite yet until we take a look at the Kroot units and see what they can actually attach to. Because if you can have stuff attached to different units, like the big dudes with the fists now, the gorilla things, the gorilla birds, if you can take this on a unit of gorilla birds, then it's actually pretty interesting because it makes them so much faster. So we won't write it off quite yet. Root carved weapon, Kroot War Shaper only. All weapons equipped by the bearer have precision, devastating wounds. Okay, again, we won't write this off quite yet, because I don't exactly remember what these 2 units do or what they can attach to. Although this one doesn't matter, because it only happens on the guy himself. War Shaper only. War Shaper only, okay. So, Othrog Gland, Kroot Flesh Shaper only. While he's leading a unit, they crit on 5-ups. Okay. While the bearer is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, an unmodified hit roll of 5+ scores a critical hit. So okay. So CP stuff. Stratagems. Join the hunt. 2 CP. Battle tactics. Any phase. 1 Kroot infantry or Kroot Hounds unit from your army that was just destroyed. You can, So you add a new unit to your army identical to the one that was destroyed in strategic reserve at its starting strength. It doesn't affect the characters. Yep, so that's the restriction. Any characters that were attached are gonzo. 2 CP, it's priced correctly because it gives you a free unit. So you're spending 2 command points to put another, 50-ish points back into your list. That's pretty good, actually. Pretty good. Being able to return units to play is very, very good. For a whole bunch of reasons. Like, the obvious reasons, obviously you have more models on the table, which just, it looks like you're doing better. Second reason would be because you took a unit, you sacrificed it, it got you points, great. But now it came back to life, and it can come on the table, get you different points, make an area, you can't deep strike near it, come in, block out an area. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why this is very, very strong. So, very good. Join the hunt. A trap well laid, 1 CP, battle tactics. In your shooting or fight phase, Target a Kroot unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight. After your unit has resolved its attacks this phase, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks until the end of the phase. Each time a Kroot model from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, unless the attacking unit is battle shocked, interesting, improve the armor penetration of that attack by 1. Better in combat, I think, because most of your guns are kind of crap, so I think this is probably better in combat. When this is combined with +1 to hit and wound, though, that's very, very strong as well. +1 AP, great. I see this being used on the gorilla birds, the big fat gorilla birds. They're going to be AP 2. That's pretty good. They'll be maybe +1 to wound if they need to crush through something that's damaged. So that's okay. 1 CP, not bad. EMP grenades, War Gear Strat, 1 CP. This is in your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase, just after an enemy vehicle is selected to shoot or fight. Interesting. 1 Kroot grenade unit from your army that's within 8 inches of that vehicle until the end of the phase. Worsen the weapon skill and ballistic skill of the vehicle by 1. That could actually save you in some situations, but generally, unless it's like a 1v1 where you've got like one thing that can see one of your units, it's probably not going to matter too much. You make 1 unit -1. Like, you're talking about units that have like a 6-up armor save, dude. Alright, they're in cover. Let's just say they have a 4-up save somehow. That's not enough. Whatever that shoots at them, it's going to kill them because it's going to be AP 1. Yeah, I just don't think that that's very good. Don't think that's very good. You have to be within 8 inches. It costs you a CP. It only makes them -1 to hit. If it like shortened their range or something like that, that would be interesting, but it doesn't do that. Grizzly Feast, Strategic Ploy, 1 CP, Fight Phase, 1 Kroot unit from your army that was destroyed. No, 1 Kroot unit from your army that destroyed one or more enemy units this phase. Until your next command phase, each enemy unit within 6 inches of that unit must take a battle shock test. If that unit taking the test is below half strength, subtract 1 from the test. Enemy units affected by the stratagem do not need to take any other battle shock tests in the same phase. Okay, so I hate this a lot, and yeah, I don't like that. It's okay, you have, your gorilla birds came in, they destroyed an enemy unit, it's your opponent's turn, you're like, I'm done my turn, and then you do this, and everything takes a battle shock test, I guess. Hey, Gorilla Warrior Birds. Gorilla Warriors, Strategic Ploy, 1 CP. In your movement phase, just after a Kroot unit from your army falls back, they're eligible to shoot and declare a charge. So, probably better on Gorilla Birds. Hidden Hunters, this is your last one. Strategic Ploy for 1 CP. This is in your opponent's... I'll have to go over the points of these. So this is in your opponent's shooting phase, just after they select their target. You target Kroot unit that was the target of those attacks. You gain Lone Op. Till the end of the phase, your unit can only be selected as the target of a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 12 inches. Again, great on Gorilla Birds. We'll get to the Gorilla Birds at some point when they're in here somewhere. So these are all really good on the Gorilla Birds. Good on Gorilla Birds, good on Gorilla Birds, good on Gorilla Birds. Sorry, good on Gorilla Birds. They're not infantry. Also not bad on Gorilla Birds. So let's take a look at the Root Carved Weapon. How much is the Root Carved Weapon? Root Carved Weapon, 10 points. And so the Root Carved Weapon is the one that gives you precision and dev wounds. 10 points. Okay. The Gland, 15. That's the 5-up crits. So this... things must be able to get, like... they must have either lethals or sustained somehow. And that's going to be all your detachments. So, this is one of the best ones. Absolutely. +1 strength, +1 AP. So +1 strength within 12, +1 AP within 6. It rewards you for playing the game, so you want to get up close to things. And before you were like, oh, I'm so scared, you're going to charge me, and I don't know if I'm going to kill you. Fuck that. You're definitely going to kill them now. You get +1 AP, +1 strength. Oh, yeah. And then this, obviously, is just, this is completely fucked in every possible way. Very good, very good, very good, very good. The whole 2 pages is really, really busted. So those 2 are definitely the best. Let's get on to some data sheets, shall we? Here we go. So, first up, Shadowsun. Completely unchanged, 100% unchanged. The points that I actually have the points up on screen, over here, you can't see it. Shadowsun has not changed, she's still 110 points. Moves 10, toughness 4, 3-up, 5-up invuln, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC of 1. She has the Fletcher launcher, she has 2 high energy fusion blasters, so the strength 10 AP 4 D6 damage. She's got a light missile pod, strength 7 AP 0 2 damage with 24 inches, and then the pulse pistol, so she can do actions in combat if you need her to. She's got some fists, no one cares. She must be your warlord. She has infiltrators, lone op, and stealth. For the greater good, agile combatant. She's eligible to shoot in a turn which she fell back. And then she has a 6-inch aura of reroll 1s to hit. That's so good. It's a ranged attack only, but reroll 1s to hit. 6 inches is huge. It's like this big. If you have the model here, it's not quite that big, but she's got a big base. She's like this big now. It's like there. It's like this big. Okay, it's big. That's what she said. She's got some war gear abilities. Each time a ranged attack targets the bearer, subtract 1 from the wound roll plus stealth. So she's -1 to hit, -1 to be wounded, 5 up invul and 6 wounds. She also has a command link drone. Basically, if a unit within 6 inches uses a strat, on a 5 up you can gain CP. So pretty cool. She has the 2 high energy fusion blasters. She's got all this. She just has, there should be like a 2x here. In fact, there should be a number next to these. And it should be like 1x, 2x, 1x, 1x, 1x. Anyway, Shadowsun, she's an infantry character. She flies, she's a battlesuit, so she does get the battlesuit stuff from the Retaliation Cadre. This motherfucker, though, so much better. Farsight, 10, toughness 5, 2 up, 4 up, 8 wounds, leadership 6, OC of 2. Deep strikes, he leads. He's got his high-intensity plasma rifle. So basically, it's a 2-shot plasma rifle from the index. It's got a 24-inch range instead of 18. This did change to 18, which we'll see in a moment. Strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage. Nice. Hits on 2s. I like it. Not bad. Not great, not bad, just good. Then the Dawn Blade. He's only got 4 attacks with it. I wish he had 5 and 10. He really should. It's Strength 10, AP 2, and a flat 3 damage. The AP 2 isn't great. This thing like steals people's souls. That's why he's been living for like 1,000 years. It should be AP 3. And maybe even AP 4. It used to be AP 4, actually. Anyway, he's 90 points, this fucker. He's 90 fucking points. He attaches to all the different types of battle suits. So you can attach to Sunforge, Fire Knife, and just Christ's Star Scythe. Okay, so Star Scythe, Fire Knife, Sunforge. If your army includes Farsight, it cannot include Ethereals. If your army includes Ethereals, it cannot include Farsight. So you can have these 2 rivals in the same army. That's completely legal now. They just threw lore out the window. They were like, you remember when Shadowsun walked up to the statue of Farsight and just blew it up with her fusion blasters? Yeah, that actually happened in the lore. It's in one of the codexes. She did that. But nah, it's cool. We're just gonna like join up. We're gonna be pals. As long as there's no Ethereals around. This guy's super duper good. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit within 9 inches, add 1 to the wound roll. So what I'm reading here is that you put this guy with the, what are they, the Sunforge, the Melta. They've got a 4-up invuln just like him. They're gonna have 5 wounds because of their drone. They all have 2 Melta guns. They're gonna be +1 to wound. If you play it in a Retaliation Cadre so that you can deep strike within 3 inches, they're going to be Strength 10, +1 to wound, rerolling wounds and damage rolls. Then, once per battle round, you can target this model with his unit with a stratagem for 0 CP, and you can do so even if it's been targeted. He's targeted a different unit with that strat already. So he is a captain for all intents and purposes. Just so good. He's 90 points, dude. 90 points for this profile, for this ability, for that ability, for these guns. Oh my god. So good. So auto take before, probably auto take now. Shadowsun, she kind of fell out of favor, at least for me. Within the last several months, I just found that I didn't really need her too much. When I first was playing in 10th edition, I had her in almost every single lith, along with Anva, because Anva was just hilariously good. But Anva's dead, so he's literally dead, and he's not in the codex anymore. He's been squatted, so no longer an auto take. Dude, how can you leave home without Farsight? Are you really going to take an Ethereal? No, you're not, because Ethereals are terrible. Then you have the Commander in Enforcer Battlesuit. I'm not really going to go over all the different options and stuff. I'll kind of just explain some of the things that matter here. The thing that matters is that these retained Cyclic Ion Blasters. So you can still take Cyclic Ion Blasters on these guys. I just don't know if you do that because you're taking all the mortal wounds on them instead. If you give them 4 of them, that's 4 dice. That's a 66% chance you're gonna roll 1. Nah, I don't like it. Just take plasma guns or something else. You guys do whatever you want. I am not taking Cyclic Ion Blasters. Fuck that. So this dude has deep strike. He's a leader. Each time he's leading a unit, a ranged attack, you subtract 1 from the AP. So he's got Armor of Contempt for his unit in the shooting phase. That's what he gives you. Now this is specifically the Enforcer. They got rid of the regular commanders. You have Enforcer and you have the Coldstar. So Enforcer can take all the different weapons. So he comes with a burst cannon and battlesuit fists. He can be equipped with up to 3 of the following. So you're going to give him a bunch of guns, and then his burst cannon can be replaced with some guns or a shield generator or something like that. Now, this is interesting. This model can be equipped with up to 2 of the following and can take duplicates. So this guy can still take 2 shield drones and become 8 wounds. The regular battlesuit units, that is different. They can only take 1. So we'll get there in a second. He can be attached to all the different crisis suits. He's a character, he flies, he's a battlesuit, he's a vehicle and a walker, interestingly. A walker. They've always had that keyword, just isn't. The only thing that matters that I've ever seen for walkers is the Sidonian Dragoons with the Taser Lances. They're anti-walker 2+. But go figure that one out. So your Coldstar, exactly the same. Same profile, same options, same everything. The only difference with this guy is his abilities here. While he's leading a unit, models in that unit have a move characteristic of 12, and they gain assault on their ranged weapons. So the battle suits are different now. They have different abilities because there are now 3 different units. Can't move as fast anymore. You don't auto get an advance of 6 with battle suits, so you can't move 18 inches with a Coldstar anymore. He can also take, they can both take the same things here. So they can take a battlesuit support system. It allows them to shoot in a turn which they fell back, just this guy. Shield Gen gives you a 4-up invuln. Weapon support system allows the bearer to ignore any or all modifiers to hit rolls. So the fall back and shoot, it's only on him. I'll probably go with the 4-up invuln, but likely, because he's surrounded by a bunch of dudes, you're just going to give him 4 weapons. 4 plasma guns, 4 melta guns, probably 4 melta guns, put him with a unit of Sunforged dudes, deep strike him in, 10 melta guns, rerolling wounds, rerolling damage. Seems good. And same exact warrior options here. So he can take up to 4 guns, he can take any combination of these different weapons if he wants to, or he can take some of these battlesuit support systems. Okay, so we got the Fireblade, the Blade of Flame. He moves 6, he's toughness 3, 4-up save, no invuln, 3 wounds, leadership 7, OC 1. He's got this Fireblade pulse rifle thing. It is rapid fire 1, it's strength 5, AP 0, 2 damage. Hits on 3s. This guy can take drones. He can take duplicates, so you could give him 2 shield drones, gun drone, marker drone, whatever you want. You can give him drones. He can be attached to breachers and strikes. He's an infantry character with grenades. So there you go, has grenades. So this is what he does. This is why he's good. He's 40 points. While he's leading a unit, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit, and then each time this guy rolls 6 to wound, basically, becomes AP 3. So not very bad. The +1 to so you get 10 extra attacks, plus any drones that you have equipped. So if this guy has 2 drones that are the shooty drones, that's 4 extra shots. Both of those get an extra shot. So that's actually 6 extra shots hitting on 5s, +1 to hit with a marker light, but hitting on 5s. And then you have the sergeant in the unit as well with the same thing. So you end up having like 12 extra shots, which is pretty cool. The Ethereal, he gives you a CP on a 4+ in your command phase, and if you're leading a unit, he gives them a 5-up feel no pain. He can also lead the same thing, so breachers and strike team. This guy's better though, for sure. The Ethereal's 50 points. He does come with an invuln, a 5-up invuln, but he's just not there for me. He can take the drones. He's infantry character. He doesn't have grenades or anything. The only reason that you take the Ethereal is to maybe get a CP on a 4-up. Yeah, I just don't think you need him. I just don't think you need him. Because you're not always going to get this off. So if you're paying 50 points to maybe get a CP, I just don't think you need to. I really just don't think you need to. I think you just play better and don't use all your stratagems on dumb shit. Darkstrider. This is actually a good unit. Darkstrider, I'm not actually sure how many points he is. Let me double check. So Darkstrider is 60 points. I forgot. Move 7, toughness 3, 4-up save, 3 wounds. He's an infiltrator, which is great, and he also has scout. He also has this, the jamming array. You can't deep strike within 12 inches of him. So this is a great backfield unit, just for 60 points, and he's not a lone op or anything, but he can hide, and he creates this 12-inch bubble of you can't deep strike around me. Very, very good. And it's annoying because it makes it so that people can't, charge him. And if he's behind a wall, so if this is my piece of terrain, this book, and I have him here, you're gonna have to be on the other side of the wall because 12 inches is past that. So, and behind me is the table edge. So if this is the table edge, and I'm here, the piece of terrain's kind of here, you're not gonna be able to deep strike within 12, and you're not gonna be able to see me because anywhere that you place the guy, it has to be 12 inches away. You get the idea. So, pretty good for backfield screening, 60 points. His gun's okay, he's got the same thing as the Fireblade, although it hits on 2s. It does have 2 shots, and it is assault, but otherwise it's the same. He can only be attached to Pathfinders, though. He does not have grenades, but he does have Marker Light. Interestingly, this guy does not have the Marker Light keyword either, so you'd have to give him the Shield Drone. But you're going to attach him to a unit that has Marker Lights, so maybe you don't need to do that. Strike teams. So these are your basic infantry. They are OC2, they are battle line, they have grenades, they have Marker Light, so do these guys. They have Marker Light, grenade, battle line. These are very similar units. Their stats are the same, 6-inch move, 4-up save, toughness 3, 1 wound, leadership 7, OC of 2, so identical on both the Breachers and the Strike team. The Strike team has a really shitty weapon though, and the Breachers have a very good weapon. The Strike team, it's got a pulse rifle, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. It was really good back in the day when things only had 1 wound, like Marines and Terminators and stuff. Yeah, there was a time when they had a single wound, and things like this, it's like, oh, just take like 20 saves. Oh, I killed like 3 of your Terminators, cool. In this edition though, since 8th edition, weapons like this are fucking garbage. Rapid fire 1, 30-inch range, 1 shot hitting on 4, strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. That's what they get. They can take a little support turret thing, so in your movement phase, if this unit remains stationary until the start of your next turn, you basically get equipped with this weapon. You don't actually put a model down or anything like that, so you can't like put a drone on an objective and be like, I'm on the objective now. It just gives you the support weapon. Hits on 5s, it's a smart missile, so it's indirect twin-linked, 2 shots. Strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. The Sashui can be equipped with up to 2 of the following and can take duplicates. So, pretty good. You could also take Pulse Carbines instead. I'd like to say they're better. Yeah, in fact I will. They're better. They have a 20-inch range, and they always get 2 shots with it instead of having to get within 15. So, yeah, that's probably better. We don't care about these guys. Units of 10, they do make your opponent -1 to hit if they shoot at them. So, in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select an enemy unit that was hit by its attacks until the start of your next turn. They're suppressed, and each time they make an attack, they're -1 to their hit roll. And that's any attack. That's shooting or close combat. Now, Breachers, we talked about them a little bit earlier when I was talking about some of the stratagems and some of the dumb shit you can do with these guys. Their gun is so much better. It's a 10-inch range, it has assault, so they can advance and still shoot it, they can advance and do actions. Having assault is just a good ability. It's 2 shots always. It hits on 3s. I don't know why, but it hits on 3s, and that wasn't changed in this codex. Strength 6, AP 1, 1 damage. Reroll wounds if the opponent is on an objective marker. They can also get the support turret thing if they stay still, which you will literally never do ever. So that's an option you can have. Your Sashui guy, he's going to take the Guardian drone. He's probably also going to take a gun drone. You don't need... Marker drones are fine too, because it allows the unit to advance and still be able to guide something. They can still be an observer unit if they do. So you have some options here. The Guardian drone, you have to take at least 1 of them, because this makes the entire unit -1 to be wounded in the shooting phase, and you just can't leave home without that. It's just way too good. So, units of 10, 20 shots apiece, strength 6, basically AP 2, because they're going to be ignoring cover when they're guided, rerolling wounds if you're on the objective, 90 points, 80 points, like, what? So, yeah, these are much better. These are much better. For 10 more points, they're infinitely better. No one ever runs these. Alright, so now you have the battle suits here. So, we've got they're split into 3. So you have Sunforge, Star Scythe, Fire Knife. Sunforge, the stats the same. So moves 10, toughness 5, 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 2. The keywords are the same. Vehicle, walker, fly, battlesuit, and some other stuff. The difference here from these guys is they come stock with a 4-up invuln. Each time they target a monster or a vehicle, they can reroll the wound roll and they can reroll the damage roll when they make ranged attacks specifically. So they each have 2 fusion blasters, strength 9, AP 4, D6 damage with 12-inch range, melted 2. It's a melt-a-gun. They each have 2 melt-a-guns. You put a commander in this unit, they now have 10 melt-a-guns that all reroll wounds and damage. That's pretty good. Now this, if you read this very carefully, any number of models, which I have trouble doing, any number of models can be equipped with up to 2 of the following, but cannot take duplicates. So you can get a shield drone, and you can get a gun drone. You probably don't take a marker drone at that point. So you get a shield drone and a gun drone. Sweet. Then your fire knife guys. These guys are, so they come with a plasma rifle and a missile pod. So these guys come with 2 fusion blasters. These are all units of 3. You can't take units of 6 anymore, which is a shame. Units of 3. These guys come stock with a plasma rifle and a missile pod. any number of models can have their plasma rifle replaced with a missile pod, or any number of models can have their missile pod replaced with a plasma. So these can be double plasma, double missile, or one plasma, one missile. Same profile, just no invuln. They can take a shield drone to be 5 wounds. Their ability is a little bit different. They all have deep strike. All 3 of these different units have deep strike. They've always had deep strike. They will always have deep strike. This fire knife ability says each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. If the attack targets a unit that is at its starting strength, you can reroll the hit instead. The problem I have here is your weapons aren't very good. So your plasma gun going down to 18 inches, that's fucked. Why did they do that? Makes no sense. The 30-inch range missile pod is better, but because it's only AP 1, it's only strength 7, these are probably best in a Retaliation Cadre, plus 1 AP, so you become strength 8, AP 2, 2 damage, and then ignores cover when you're guided. That's pretty good. Strength 9, AP 4, 3 damage, that's also pretty good, rerolling all hits, and so that's not bad. It's not so bad. You don't really... I don't know. This unit's really good when you have the lethal hits detachment, when you have Mont'ka, because these innately reroll hits. So if you're really trying to get those lethals, you can just pop out 6 plasma guns. One of them's a 6. That's a lethal. Reroll the 5. That's probably another lethal. You'll probably get like 3 hits out of the rest of them. You rolled a wound, you'll probably get a 3rd, because you're wounding on 5, because we're shooting a Land Raider, my favorite example. So you get 3 wounds on a Land Raider. AP 3 ignores cover, so basically AP 4. It'll get a 4-up save. Pretty good. Pretty good. These guys are a little expensive, though. These might change with GW putting out actual points for this. The Fire Strike guys. So these are Fire Knife. So Fire Knife, 165. The Star Scythe are going to be 140. And the Sunforge are 160. So somehow, this unit is the most expensive thing. They also have, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the hit roll. So they're always hitting on 4s or better. I don't know how they're more expensive than these guys. They only have, well, I guess the missile pod's a little bit further range. These guys only have a little bit shorter of range. You have delivery methods for these guys via deep strike or via coming in within 3 inches. You've got other ways where you can come in and just be able to do stuff with their melta guns. They're a little cheaper, they're harder to kill. I don't get that. These are the 140 point guys. These have a burst cannon and a flamer. The burst cannons can all be flamers, or their flamers can all be burst cannons. You can have 2 flamers or 2 burst cannons, or 1 of each. Same profile. There's the weapons. They're the same as from the index. They also have deep strike. They have the Star Scythe ability. Each time a monolith unit makes a ranged attack against non-monsters and vehicles, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. With the flamers, this can become really strong because you have strength 4 flamers that are now AP 1. Now, really strong is not a great way to describe it, but can become strong because they're only 140 points. Pretty durable. You're going to have a 5th wound because of your shield drone in each guy. So 5 wounds, 2 flamers that are AP 1. So they're basically the same thing that aggressors have. When they target the closest unit, your flamers become AP 1. The problem is that they're not twin linked, so they don't reroll wounds, they don't benefit from lethal hits, they don't benefit from sustained hits. Yeah. Although, they will benefit from +1 strength, which is pretty cool. So these guys, their other ability is they're eligible to shoot during a turn in which they fell back. So, again, 3-man units, all the same keywords, all have the same data sheet, like same profile there. And that's your battle suits. Definitely the best one. These are actually kind of good as well. They're very cheap. They're only 140 points for these guys. They're pretty durable, you know, I like that. I like their flamers. I like double flamers on those guys. I don't know if I'll ever run a unit of them, but on paper, just looking at it, doesn't seem so bad. Stealth battle suits. Also super good. They were super good in the index. They're super good in the codex. They're move of 8, toughness 4, 3-up save, 2 wounds, leadership 7, OC 1. They've got a burst cannon. Yeah. 1 dude out of 3 can take a melta gun, which is a fusion blaster. They're infiltrators, which is awesome. They have stealth, so -1 to hit. Awesome. And then they have this forward observer. Each time this unit is an observer unit until the end of the phase, each time a ranged attack is made by a model in their guided unit that targets the spotted unit, reroll a hit roll and a wound roll of 1. This was changed. This used to say reroll a wound roll of 1. That was really good to have. Tetras gave you reroll all your hits, which it stacked better with sustained hits, but this is very, very good. This actually competes with Tetras now because it gives you the reroll 1 to hit and it gives you the reroll 1 to wound. These didn't change in price. They're 60 points for the 3 of them. They come in units of 3 to 6, so 60 points for 3 of them. You take a gun drone or a marker drone or a whatever drone. They're infantry fly battlesuits, so you probably give them a marker drone and you probably give them a shield drone, would be my guess. That way you can advance them, they can still guide something, and then the sergeant will have a 3rd wound. So, that's pretty cool. They also have these battlesuit abilities. The bearer's unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back, but when doing so only he can do it. And then you have the homing beacon, once per battle. You can use the rapid ingress stratagem for 0 CP. The target must be set up within 3 inches of the bearer's unit and not within 9 inches of any enemy units. So I've gotten this clarified because I've had questions on whether or not this overrides the restriction of the strategic reserve. So you can rapid ingress things that are in strategic reserve. They just have to come in from the table sides. If this didn't exist, they would have to come in from the table sides, and that's just the way that works. This says they have to be set up within 3 inches of the bearer and not within 9 inches of any enemy units. So I was unsure because nothing's very specific. At least there's not a whole lot of specific things in this game. I wasn't sure if this got around the having to come in within 6 inches, because if it did, this meant that you could put a Tiger Shark in reserve. I remember the name. You can put a Tiger Shark in reserve, you could rapid ingress it, and because of the way this is worded, you could put it in within 3 inches of this unit, not within 9 of any enemy units. That's not the way it works, apparently. So, yeah, basically that doesn't work, and this was a waste of my time talking about it. But I was unsure. And now I'm not. Now I am sure. Ghostkeel. These are super good. I love these things. They have infiltrators. They're 60 points. They're 20 points apiece. Gives me reroll hits and wounds of 1. They have a fusion blaster that you can fall back, and it's got 3 wounds. He can shoot you still. They can advance and still guide stuff. I can use rapid ingress for free. Just that is really, really good. It's not wholly within 3. It's just within 3. So you got your stealth suits here. You have 1 battle suit within 3, and then they can kind of conga line up. Ghostkeel. These did not change. So they move 10. They're toughness 8 with a 2-up save. 12 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 3. They still have the cyclic ion raker, so 6 shots at 36 inches, strength 8, AP 2, and 3 damage if you overcharge it, which you will always do. Or you can take the fusion collider, melt a 2 with 18-inch range, strength 12, AP 4, D6 damage. I've actually never run it with the fusion collider, to be completely honest. At least not in this edition. I like the cyclic ion raker because they're a lone op and they're stealthy. They can sit back, get down firing lanes, and just put 6 shots down on people. I think these are better with the lethal hits because they don't need to be guided in order to get that ability like you did with Kauyon. They need to be guided in order to get sustained hits. It only works from battle rounds 3, 4, and 5. It's fucking garbage. So this guy with lethal hits becomes much better because he gets it from turn 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's the turns that he needs to be able to be doing damage. By turn 4 and 5, the game is winding down. So Ghostkeel is still really good. Deadly Demise D3, Infiltrators, it's a huge-ass model with Infiltrators. It's stealthy, it's got lone ops, you can't target it unless you're within 12 inches of it. These things are a pain in the ass. People have to commit so much to get rid of these things, and they never do any damage. Like, I'll just put them down somewhere, kind of hang out, and people will be like, I gotta kill that Ghostkeel. I gotta commit over here and kill this Ghostkeel. I'm like, okay, cool, sure. Battlesuits kill you now. So, Ghostkeels are great. They also have this ability here, twice per game, 2 times per game. After an attack is allocated to this model, you can change the damage characteristic of that attack to 0. Pretty fucking good. This makes them a lot more survivable because they're already -1 to hit, they're in cover with a 2-up save, like you're blanking damage twice a game with them, and they can fall back and shoot? What? So the bearer is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back, but it loses the smoke keyword. Who fucking cares? This thing is very good. It's 160 points. So it comes with the collider, you can give it the ion raker, and then its flamer can be replaced with either the fusion blaster or the burst cannon. Honestly, the flamer's not bad. It is twin linked, but I take the fusion blaster on these guys. And then he can be equipped with the support system, which you're going to do because having smoke on this guy seems useless when he's -1 to hit. Pathfinders, also a super duper good unit. So 7-inch move. How much are these guys? Pathfinders. They're 90 points, so yeah, 7-inch move, toughness 3, 4-up save, 1 wound, leadership 7, OC 1. They've got a whole bunch of different guns they can take here. You can take up to 3 special weapons, and they can all be the same. So you can take 3 ion rifles, that's going to be a 30-inch range, 3 shots, strength 8, AP 2, 2 damage. Only hitting on 5s though, and it does have hazardous, but it also has heavy. So in the very strange situation that you actually stay still, these guys are getting +1 to hit. Rail rifle, devastating wounds and also heavy, 30-inch range, 1 shot. Strength 10 though, AP 4, flat 3 damage, hitting on 5s. You have a grenade launcher thing, I don't even care. It's there, you can see it. I don't care. Alright, so the Sashawee is going to take the recon drone, because the recon drone gives the bear's unit infiltrators. So not only do they have scout 7 inches, they also have infiltrators. And if you guys have ever used a scout squad, you'll know how nice it is to have both infiltrators and scout. A lot of the times, if I'm using infiltrator units and I want to make a wall, because I talk about making walls a lot, I'll put them as close as possible to my opponent's board edge, which is within 9 inches of them, and kind of just, know that that unit is dead, but it's serving a purpose of roadblocking my opponent. Things like this, things like scouts, they can be back 6 inches further from that point, and if you end up going second, you could actually move them backward behind a wall. So these move even a little further. They move 7 instead of 6. So you can have these 7 inches away from that 9-inch point where you can't go any further. If you go first, you can go up and go, cool, no, 7-inch move. All right, it's my turn. I'll move 7 inches and just make this wall in front of you, or whatever you want to do. You don't have to necessarily make walls, but if you don't want to do that, if your opponent goes first and you don't want to lose this unit first turn, instead of them being here, they're back here, and you go, okay, 7 inches behind the wall, back here in my deployment zone. So that's really good to have. Now, they have target uploaded. Once per turn, when using the For the Greater Good ability, you can select this unit to be an observer unit for a second time, and when doing so, you can change which enemy unit is the spotted unit. So basically, it's pretty straightforward, but I pick a unit, I guide it, they shoot a unit, fun story. This unit can then pick a second unit to guide, and they'll also be +1 to hit. So he basically gets to guide 2 units instead of 1. And that's like the whole purpose for existing. But yeah, being able to scout and being able to infiltrate, 90 points for 10 guys, yeah, I'm about that. They're 9 points apiece. They are only 9 points apiece. They do have some other options here, like the grab inhibitor drone, subtract 2 from charges against the unit, or you add 6 inches to the range of pulse carbines equipped by them if you take the pulse accelerator drone. None of those are useful. Take the recon drone, get infiltrators, get scout. It's a good day. And then you got the Firesight Team. I also don't think that these things changed. They're 70 points. Yeah, they got 4 wounds, 4 save, toughness 3 with a 6-inch move. Their weapons are okay. They're strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage, 3 shots, so basically a heavy bolter. This has precision though, so it can snipe out characters if they're out in the open. They infiltrate, they got lone operatives, and they're stealthy. That's pretty cool. If they become guided, they reroll all hits. Other than that, that's what this unit does. It's a 70-point lone operative unit that can sit in your backfield, can observe things. It does have the marker light keyword, so if it's observing stuff, you're going to be ignoring cover. And it's really nice because Tau definitely have the most lone operatives out of any codex, any index, anything like that. These have the most lone operatives. So far, we've seen 3. These guys, the Ghostkeel, and Shadowsun. I think that's it. And there's more. Vespids Stingwings. How many points are Vespids Stingwings? Like 50 points or something? 65 points for the Vespids Stingwings. 12-inch move, toughness 4, 4 up save, 1 wound, there's 7 OC1. They got a neutron blaster, it's assault, 18-inch range with 2 shots, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage, hitting on 4s. Their combat sucks. They also deep strike, and they have this ability, which I have yet to make use of. At the end of your movement phase, if this unit is not within engagement range, put it into strategic reserve. They have deep strikes, they can come back down. It's just strange how it happens at the end of your movement phase. So it's nice to have. It's nicer when it's at the end of your opponent's turn, because then you have options. You can be like, okay, I need these units to do something this turn, like in my upcoming turn. I'm going to take them off the table, and I'll do something with them next turn. With these guys, it's basically the same thing, but it's not quite. These guys go, I'm going to move up here. Actually, I don't need to move them. I guess they'll stay here, and then at the end of my turn, I'll pick them up. So you can still create options with these kinds of things. You can see where your army is at the end of your movement phase and decide, maybe I'll just pick these up and bring them down next turn, deep strike them, get you secondary objectives, all that kind of stuff. The thing is, with this type of ability, this comes down in your movement phase, and then at the end of your movement phase, you have to choose whether or not you pick them back up. It's not like a scout squad where they come on, or an assassin, where they come on, they do something, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, you can then pick them up and do something. So they're not quite the same there. Trail Shaper, okay. He's got a Kroot rifle. He's moved 7 inches, toughness 3 with a 6-up save. What a character here. He's got 3 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 1. I don't know how many points this guy is. Kroot Trail Shaper, right? It's 55 points. Okay. He's an infiltrator. He leads, he scouts, and he has stealth. Trail Find. Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends a normal advanced fallback move within 9 of this model's unit, if this model's unit is not within engagement range, it can make a normal move up to D6 inches. Ooh, what a miss. That should have been 6. That should have been 6 inches. After both players have deployed their armies and determined who has the first turn, you can redeploy this model's unit and one other friendly Kroot unit. When doing so, those units can be placed into strategic reserve, regardless of how many things are there. Okay, it's pretty good. If you're playing the Kauyon Detachment and you want to redeploy a bunch of Gorilla Birds, you can do that. This guy's pretty good, 55 points, just because of this ability. You pick his unit and one other, and you get to redeploy them. That's pretty good. So, War Shaper, he's shaping the war. He's the same, exactly the same. Profile's the same. 7-inch move, toughness 3, 6 save, 3 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 1. Are you the same as well? Yep, so the Flesh Shaper is the same. Now, the War Shaper has a gun, the Dart Bow and Tri-Blade, anti-infantry 3-up, assault, and heavy. D3 plus 1 shots at 24 inches, hitting on 4s, strength 4, a whole AP 0, and 2 damage. He also infiltrates, leads, scouts 7 inches, and has stealth. He's got a pistol, he's got like a heavy bolter in combat, so lethal hits, 4 attacks on 2, strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. Now, if you take this combat weapon, he loses his dart bow. Who cares? I think you do that anyway. So, yeah, you take the blade stave and prey hook. So, do that. This dude, now all these guys can be attached to Kroot Carnivores and Kroot Farstalkers, so none of them can be attached to the Gorilla Birds, which is unfortunate because I was talking about that a little earlier when we were looking at some of the enhancement and that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, you're locked into Kroot, like the actual little Kroot guys for these. The War Leader, once per battle round, 1 unit from your army with this ability can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 CP, even if another unit from your army has already been targeted by that stratagem this phase, and then he has Root of Honor. Once per battle, at the start of any phase, you can select 1 other friendly Kroot unit that is battle-shocked. Within 12 inches, they are no longer battle-shocked. Alright, so pretty underwhelmed by these guys. The War Shaper, Kroot War Shaper, 60 points. And the Flesh Shaper is 65. Alright, let's read the Flesh Shaper. Same profile. He's got a scatter gun. It's 2 shots on 4s. It's an assault weapon. Okay, so far so bad. Twin Ritualistic Blades, Twin Links, Strength 5, AP 1 damage. So far, so bad. Okay. Infiltrators, Leaders, Scouts, 7 inches. Okay. So, while he's leading a unit, melee weapons have sustained hits 1. Give me a break. Like, what did you... You're leading Kroot Carnivores and Kroot Farstalkers. Get out of here. Alright, so he also has Rites of Feeding. While this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have Feel No Pain 6+. If that unit destroys 1 or more enemy units in the fight phase until the end of the battle, they have a 5-up Feel No Pain instead. I just don't care. You have a 6-up save. Now you basically get a 5-up save against attacks. You get a 5-up invuln that you have to take against multiple damage. Like, it's just, who cares? Kroot are just not, they're not where it's at, guys. They're just not. The Lone-Spear is good, though. This Lone-Spear boy, how many points are you, Mr. Lone Star? The Lone Star boy, Kroot Lone Man. Lone-Spear, 110 points. I rescind my statement. He is not good. His profile is good. His points are not good. 12-inch move, T5, 5-up save, 6 wounds, 2 OC, leadership 7. He's got a Blast Javelin. It's Assault Blast, 18 inches, D6 shots, hitting on 4s. Strength 10, AP 2, 2 damage. So, if you can get these guys to be +1 to hit and +1 to wound, that'll do some damage to something. And then he also has this Kroot Long Gun, heavy precision, 1 shot, strength 6, AP 2, flat 3 damage. Okay, hits on 3s for that. For combat, he's got a whole bunch of stuff here. You have to pick different stuff. So I'm assuming this, is this an epic hero? It's not an epic hero. Kalamanda's Bite. Kalamanda? I think so. 4 attacks, strength 5, AP 1, damage 1. Otherwise, he's going to have 3 attacks at strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. Because he comes with the Kroot Long Gun, close combat weapon, and the bite thing. And so you're going to, if this model's Kroot Gun, This model's Kroot gun can be replaced with a Blast Javelin and a Hunting Javelin. So, do that. Yeah, take the Hunting Javelin, take the Blast Javelin. Don't take this Kroot gun. Yeah, so Advancing Scout. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that hits an enemy unit, until the end of the turn, each time another Kroot unit from your army attacks that same target, reroll the hit roll. That's good. It just has to hit. So he just has to hit something, and then he does some cool stuff. So that's pretty nice. He also is a lone op with Scout 7 inches in stealth. This, like, I saw his profile, and I was like, that's a good profile. For 110 points, though, I just can't. I can't see that. I can't see that in a normal build, because otherwise I was thinking, like, yeah, a bunch of lone ops are really nice to have. Just take, like, 100 lone ops in your army, not when they're 110 points. But he is cool. I mean, he's tough. He's fast. He's got a pretty decent weapon. He's got a pretty cool ability that gives reroll hits to all your stuff. If you're playing the Kroot Detachment, you're definitely going to take at least one of these things because it gives you reroll hits, so you don't have to be below starting strength to get your reroll hits, which is really nice. Which actually, you don't get reroll hits. You get +1 to hit. So this guy can give you reroll hits without worrying about whether or not you're below your starting strength. So that's pretty good. And then he has Fire and Fade. Basically, in your shooting phase, after this model shoots, if it's not within engagement range, it can move 6 inches. If it does, it cannot charge. So he has Move, Shoot, Move. So he moves up 12, shoots you with a blasty gun, allows you to reroll hits against it with all your other Kroot stuff. It's a ranged attack only. So it allows you to reroll hits for all your other Kroot stuff, and then he moves 6 inches back behind a wall. Okay, I like that. Or potentially outside of 12 inches so that he can't be targeted. 110 points for that fucker, though. I don't think so. Kroot Carnivores. Kroot Carnivores, 55 points for a unit of 10. You can't go wrong. They move 7 inches, and they have Scout 7 inches with Stealth. I'm not going to go over anything else. That's all you need to know. They're 55 points, they have Scout 7 inches, and there's 10 guys in the unit. Take them. Take them in regular armies. They're very, very good. If this unit has a starting strength of 20, you can attach up to 2 leaders instead of 1. They just can't be duplicate leaders. Okay. I didn't know they had this ability. This might have been added. Maybe not, but they've got some guns, they've got some stuff. It's, you know, whatever. They're strength 4 in combat with 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Like, this unit is just not going to do it. However, they do have Fieldcraft, and this is another reason why you need to take a unit of these sticky objectives. That's it. 55 points, Scout 7 inches, sticky objectives. There's nothing bad about this unit. You take this in literally every single Tau army that you have. Then you have the Krootox Rider, 7-inch move, T6, 5 wounds with a 5-up save, leadership 7, and OC2. He's got a repeater cannon. Yep, they all have a repeater cannon and close combat weapon. Repeater cannon, strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage, 2 shots, 36-inch range. It does have rapid fire 1, so if you're within 18, you're getting a 3rd shot. You can also take a Tangle cannon, which is blast heavy. It's D6 plus 1 shots, same range, but it's only strength 6, AP 0, and 1 damage. For combat, your Krootox Fist is better. It's 4 attacks, strength 6, AP 1, damage 2, and then you've got your close combat weapon, 2 attacks and strength 4. So, they all have close combat weapon, Kroot's Fist, and the repeater cannons, and then any number of dudes can take the Tangle cannon instead. So they're actually not bad in combat. The AP 1 sucks for sure, but 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. I mean, it's strength 6, it's 2 damage apiece, it does at least have some AP. Pretty good. Also, Scout 7 inches. I think all Kroot stuff has Scout 7 inches. He's got Kroot pack mates. Once per turn in your opponent's shooting phase, when a friendly Kroot infantry unit within 6 inches of this unit is selected as the target of an attack, 1 unit from your army with this ability can use it. If it does, after that enemy unit has finished making its attacks, this unit can shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but it can only target that enemy unit, and only if they're eligible. They're units of 1 to 3. They do have grenades. So do Kroot. So just another reason why these are so good. 55 points, bro. So the Krootox Riders also have grenades as well. So do the Krootox Rampagers. Now these are the things that I've been describing as the Gorilla Birds, because look at them. Same profile. T6, 5-up save, 5 wounds, leadership 7, OC2. These, though, come in units of 3 to 6. These things have Rampager Fists. They have extra attacks and sustained hits 1. So the extra attacks, obviously, that's the same. Sustained hits 1 is better than the Krootox Fist. 4 attacks, same profile. Hits on 3, strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. They do also have some guns, so Kroot Pistol and Hunting Javelins. They're assault, so they can advance and be able to do actions. They can do actions in combat as well, because they're a pistol. 12-inch range, 2 shots. It's a pistol. It's a bolt pistol. These guys have line breakers, Kroot line breakers. Each time this unit ends a charge move, select an enemy unit within engagement range of it and roll a d6 for each model in this unit. On a 4+, the enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. If one of our enemy models were destroyed as a result of those mortal wounds, take a battle shock test. You charge him with 6 of these things. You roll 6 dice, right? You roll, so within engagement range. Should be pretty easy to do with 6 dudes. So yeah, you roll 6 dice. 3 of them are going to be 4-ups. You then roll them again. That's 6 mortal wounds on average. So this unit will charge in and literally will tank shock something to max damage for free because it's on their profile. That's pretty much all these guys do. Scout 7 inches with a 7-inch move, not bad. It's good to have Scout 7 inches on your whole army. So the Kroot Detachment, I think there's going to be some people out there that are much smarter than I am that can actually do some pretty interesting things with it because the whole army scouts gets +1 to hit, it can get +1 to wound, it can do all sorts of cool stuff like that, and these are actually a good unit. Now, the Rampagers, I'm not sure how many points they are. Let's see. Krootox Rampagers, so they're 260 points, so they're 130 points apiece. 13 divided by 3 is not an even number, but they actually seem kind of overcosted, right? Maybe? They should probably be like 120 or 240. And then we have the Kroot Hounds. I love these little things. How many points are Kroot Hounds? Because you take them in units of 5 now. So Kroot Hounds, okay, they're 40 points for the 5. 12-inch move on these guys, so very fast. 7-inch scout, also have stealth. I don't really care about the rest of this. They're a stealthy 50-point thing that moves 12 inches. So I already really like them. 40 points for this unit. 5 dudes, scouting up 7 inches, moving 12 plus in advance. That's 21 inches minimum. That's a wall in your way, and it's 40 points of dudes that are just there. And if you're playing the Mont'ka Detachment, these become OC 0 on that objective that you choose. So that's pretty awesome. They do have Loping Pounce at the start of your command phase. If this unit's within 6 inches of one or more friendly Kroot infantry units, until the end of the turn, this unit is eligible to declare charge in a turn in which it advanced. And then they also have Hunting Hounds. While they're within 12 inches of one or more friendly Kroot characters, they have OC of 1. So, pretty sweet stuff. Farstalkers. So these are like your new Kroot dudes. Their ability is the same. At the start of the battle, select a unit from your opponent's army. These guys gain lethal hits and precision against that unit. Like, why though? I had such trouble reading this before. They have infiltrators, they do have stealth, they do not have scout. They are the only Kroot unit that doesn't have scout, but it's because they have infiltrate. So they come with 2 dogs, otherwise they're a Kroot profile, so 7-inch move, toughness 3, 6-up save, all that's the same as over here. So, same thing. These guys have some different guns. I'm going to read this first. The Kroot Kill Broker is equipped with a Farstalker firearm, Kroot pistol, ritual braid. Every Kroot Farstalker is equipped with a Farstalker firearm, Kroot pistol, close combat weapon. The dogs are equipped with fangs. We did it. We got through it that time. So the Farstalker firearm, it is a bolter. It's a bolter that hits on 4s. Right. Alright, so the broker dude can take a Tau Tech rifle. It's a pulse rifle. One guy, his firearm can be replaced with a Skinner or a Tribalist. The Tribalist is probably what you're gonna go for. The Skinner's cool. It's a flamer. It's an AP1 flamer. The Tribalist is anti-vehicle 4+, dev wounds, and heavy with 3 shots. Nah, I take that back. You're gonna go with the flamer, I think. But yeah, getting lethal hits and precision doesn't seem good. You have AP 0 on everything that's like important at all. You have one thing that's AP 1 or one other thing that's AP 1 because you can't get both of them in the unit. You can just get one. So you have 9 guns that are AP 0 and like all your close combat is AP 0. Yeah, so fuck this unit. Farstalkers. How many points are you fuckers? Actually, these have rules already. Kroot Farstalkers are 70 points each, so for 12 models, they are actually very, very useful. Infiltrators, 70-point infiltrator unit, you know, it's 5 points more than a scout squad. There's technically more wounds here. There's 12 wounds here instead of 10. They're not the same thing. It's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but getting 10 guys for 70 points that have infiltrators, have scout, it's fine. It's just this ability's garbage. Piranhas, not garbage. Very, very good. 55 fucking points for one of these things. Completely wrong. It should be like 70. But they move 14, they're toughness 7 with a 4-up save, and they got 7 wounds. They make you take a battle shock test in my movement phase if you're within 12 inches of me. I pick a unit, they just take a battle shock test. Doesn't matter if it's infantry, doesn't matter if it's a vehicle, it doesn't fucking matter what it is. It just takes a battle shock test. So these things can actually start putting battle shock on your opponent when you take 3 of them. And they retained their scout 9 inches. These things are so good. How are they 55 fucking points, dude? It makes no sense to me. You're going to give them the Piranha Fusion Blaster, so it's 12-inch range, strength 9, AP 4, D6 damage with 1 shot hitting on 4s, but it's melt of 4. So if you get within 6, you're at least 5 damage. At the very minimum, you're 5 damage. It can also take 2 Seeker Missiles, strength 14, AP 3, D6 plus 1 damage with a 48-inch range. They're a Hunter-Killer Missile, that's better because it's got D6 plus 1 damage. So that's pretty good. These things are just outrageous in every possible way. They come with the Piranha Burst Cannon, which is actually a Fusion Blaster, and then 2 Twin Pulse Carbines. So your Pulse Carbines, that's going to be a total of 4 shots, hitting on 4s, that are twin-linked and they're assault. So this thing can advance, and it can do actions. Why? Why are they so good? I don't know, but they are. You can take them in units of 3, but you don't. You take them in units of 1. Take 3 individual ones, scout up 3 different places, be like, yo, Seeker Missiles, dog, what's up? Just make people battle shock. These things are great. They're so good for so many reasons. Just the fact that they're so cheap, they're so fast, they can do secondaries, they can block out areas, they scout 9 inches, and they can time walk your opponent. They can do all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, dumb. They can take 2 Seeker Missiles, just a ridiculous unit. Broadsides. Probably not usable still unless you're taking Mont'ka, where you can auto-advance them 6 inches. 5-inch move, toughness 6, 2-up save, 8 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 2. They're going to have the heavy rail rifle, although the missiles might have a place now when you can get +1 strength and +1 AP within 6 inches. Those missiles are then strength 8, AP 2, with a whole lot of shots. So we'll get there. Let's talk. 2 shots with the railgun, strength 12, AP 4, D6 +1 damage, dev wounds. I like it. High yield missile pod. These are twin linked. 6 shots, strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage. Okay, so 30-inch range. You could be, forget the range. You're within 12 inches, you're within 6 inches actually. So your strength's 8 and your AP is 2, and you're 2 damage, and you're twin linked. You're gonna get 18 shots from this unit. They're gonna be, let's just say they're getting guided by a Tetra. That's gonna be 12 hits plus the reroll, so you're gonna get another 4. So you're gonna get 16 out of 18 hits with this unit, right? 12 plus another, yeah, so 16 hits with missiles that are strength 8, AP 2, and 2 damage, ignoring cover as well. So almost AP 3. And then you're also going to be rerolling wounds. So that's very, very good, actually. Those missiles definitely have a place now. Their ability didn't change, so they have a 4-up Feel No Pain against mortal wounds. Not against dev wounds, just mortal wounds, which are practically non-existent unless things are exploding or you're getting tank shocked or something like that. There's only a couple things in the game that do mortal wounds. So those are, yeah. You can give them weapon support systems. Each time the bearer makes a ranged attack, you can ignore any roll modifiers to the hit roll. They used to be able to fall back and shoot. They don't have that option anymore. It is what it is. You can take them in units of 3 if you want, which you probably want. Units of 3 of these things, move them 11 inches with a stratagem, shoot stuff with lethal hits, and have assault and nonsense. Broadsides are great. Now, these are the same with their drones. They can't take duplicates. Wait, what? They can take duplicates. Oh. Why? So what you want to do here, guys, and this was something that somebody actually pointed out in one of the comments on the last video, you don't want to take 2 shield drones, because when you take 2 shield drones, you become 10 wounds, and 10 wounds is a cutoff point for bring it down. So be 9 wounds instead. Take a gun drone, actually no, take a missile drone and take a shield drone. So you'll have an extra 2 shots with your missile drone thing, strength 7, AP 1, 2 damage, plus your missile thing if you want it. So you got 8 shots with that per guy, plus your SMS if you really want the SMS. There are 4 shots on these SMS. Is that a misprint? Probably a misprint. But those are indirect fire twin linked. You can still take the plasma rifle, which is also twin linked, but it's only 18 inches again. So that's probably not what you do anymore. Or if you really want to, you can give them the Seeker missile. So they're always going to have the railgun or the rockets, and they're either going to have the Seeker or the plasma or the smart missile system. You don't get all 3, or yeah. So that's what these guys can do. That's interesting for sure. So yeah, they can be equipped with up to 2 of the following. cannot take duplicates, and you're not allowed to take a plasma rifle and a smart missile system. Now, I guess what you can do here, you could take a seeker missile and a smart missile, right? It just says you can't be equipped with a plasma rifle and a twin SMS. You can't be equipped with both the plasma and SMS, but you could be equipped with SMS Seeker or Plasma and Seeker. You just wouldn't get this. So these are pretty good. All I can think of is them moving 11 inches with Assault and just shooting around cover, because they're so much faster that way. So these things are awesome. They're also Vehicle Walker Battlesuit. Did I miss some of these keywords here? Yeah, Vehicle. I mean, your Tower going to give up, Bring It Down, like, just instantly. You'll get like 40 points from Bring It Down. You max at 20. But you get like 40 points from Bring It Down because everything in the army is a vehicle. This thing, the Riptide, it got good again. Moves 10, toughness 9, 2 up, 4 up, 14 wounds. Leadership 7, OC 4. OC 5 when you're on the middle point because you made it +1 OC and the bear's on the table. So really, really hard to kill this thing. It's only 165 points now. Its guns are fine. It's heavy burst cannon, strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. AP 2 because you're ignoring cover basically. Or you can get your ion cannon, which you're always going to overcharge. Where is it? This one. It's going to be strength 8, AP 3, flat 4 damage. Always getting 6 shots. You know, it's got table range, 72 inches. The AP 3 and 4 damage flat is nice when it has lethal hits. And when it's -1 damage. Or can automatically explode. Just as a model itself, not including its weapons. Just that ability on this is great. So, once a game, it can get devastating wounds. That needs to be like what a Forge Fiend has. It needs to just become like, I don't know, hazardous on a 1 or 2 and gets devastating wounds or something like that. This once per game shit is just useless to me because you need to be able to reroll wounds for this to be any good. Because you only get 6 shots. You know, like you're going to hit with 4 of them because you're +1 to hit, so you're hitting on 3s. 6, you're going to get 4 hits, okay? Only one of those is going to be a dev wound, and there's only a 66% chance of that. I just don't think it's good. That being said, these things are all stars now. Look at this profile. 14 wounds with a 2 up, 4 up. For 106, okay, so a Dread Knight. A Dread Knight is toughness 8, it has a 2 up, 4 up, and it has 13 wounds. Have you guys ever tried to kill a Dread Knight? It's not the easiest thing to do because that 4 up invuln is annoying. Now, if you have this in your Mont'ka Detachment, and you put, I forget what the strat's called, but it can be -1 damage. This thing can turn into a Redemptor Dreadnought that has a 4 up invuln, that has more wounds. Yeah, it's faster, it's way better. So this is a very, very good unit. You could easily take 3 of these in certain builds now, because with lethal hits from turns 1, 2, and 3, this weapon actually becomes scary. AP 3 and a flat 4 damage, basically AP 4 because you're ignoring cover. Flat 4 damage with lethals. I marker light this guy, and I use a Tetras, and I just reroll all my hits. You're going to get at least 2 lethals there. Maybe more, but your average is going to be around 2 lethals there, which is an average of 8 damage, not including your rolls to wound. So, very, very good. This guy can also take some stuff. He comes with the burst cannon. He can replace it with the ion cannon. The burst cannon isn't bad, though, especially in certain builds, like in the +1 strength, +1 AP, strength 7 AP 2 damage. I like the sound of that, being within 6 inches. So, your burst cannon can be an ion. Your plasma rifles can be either a twin fusion or a twin smart missile, and you can be equipped with up to 2 missile drones, which you're going to do because they're free. So yeah, he gets dev wounds once a game, he can fall back and shoot, and he ignores all modifiers to his hit roll. So overall, for 165 points, yes, there's things that we can complain about. There's always things that I can complain about. It's my fucking specialty. But I'm also a pretty objective person, and when I'm being serious about things, I can actually take an objective look and understand that this is good. Especially for its points, considering everything together, it's great. Take 3 of them, let me know how that goes. I do have 3 of them, they're just not fully painted yet. They're super bright yellow and orange, so they look really cool, but I haven't quite finished all the little bits in between the armor plates, like the little lining and stuff. They're just base colored right now. So, anyway, I'm very excited to play with Riptides again, because they're finally good again. 165 points for a really durable unit that can move really fast, that actually is good because it gets lethal hits and assault, so it can move at least 11 inches and be shooting you. I just love everything about it. So, we're going to move on from this Riptide before I have something going on that you don't want to see. So, Hammerhead Gunship. This is a movement of 10, toughness of 10, 3 up save, 14 wounds, leadership 7, OC of 3, I don't think these changed. They are 130 points still. None of the points changed. The only points differences that we have now are for those, like, you know, the Fire Knife, Star Scythe, the things that appear in the Codex now that weren't in the Index. So these are unchanged. These are 130 points. These are 130 points. They're both very good. This is the better one now. Hammerhead, though. It's going to have either an ion cannon, which was good when you could give this thing lethal hits from Long Strike, but because Long Strike is dead, you can't do that anymore. D6 plus 3 shots, Strength 8, AP 2, flat 3 damage with Hazardous. And Blast. You can take the Railgun instead. Strength 20, AP 5, D6 plus 6 damage with Dev Wounds and Heavy, so if you do stay still, you get +1 to hit. But you probably don't need to do that because each time you target a monster or vehicle, you add 1 to your hit roll already, and this stacks with Marker Lights. +1 ballistic skill and +1 to hit are not the same thing, and so they stack. Okay? That's how that works. So this thing hits on 2s because it's always going to be targeting a monster or vehicle. It's going to be hitting on 2s, and then it can reroll a wound roll or a hit roll when resolving those attacks. It can also take 2 Seeker Missiles. These things, they just one-shot stuff. Like, I've had Land Raiders, I know, I've had Land Raiders just die to 1 round of shooting from a single Hammerhead. They're outrageously powerful sometimes. Mainly because of this. The +1 to hit, you're hitting on 2s, you know, maybe Shadowsun was nearby, you're rerolling your hits. Great. Then you have the reroll to wound. That's really where this shines, because you're going to hit. You might not wound, though, because you're only strength 20, so if you're toughness 11 or higher, I'm wounding you on 3s, but now it's rerollable, so it's like an 89% chance to wound. And with a rerollable, that's a 33% chance that you'll roll a Dev Wound on this, so there's some theory hammer for you. There are vehicles that fly. This Hammerhead, or this Skyray, though, got much better. Much, much better because of this one thing here. Twin linked. The Seeker Missile Rack rerolls wounds all the time now. Strength 14, AP 3, D6 +1 damage with 3 shots per tank. +1, or, so each time it makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that can fly, you reroll the hit roll. It's not +1. I was going to say it's +1 to hit. It rerolls hits against fly, but it also has this reroll a hit or reroll a wound. So it's going to be +1 to hit. It's hitting on 3s. It probably has lethal hits because that's the best attachment. But whatever. It's going to be +1 to hit and rerolling a hit. It's twin linked, so you don't care about the reroll to wound on this. You just use reroll to hit. All right, so we have 3 dice hitting on 3s. 2 of them are going to hit. 1 of them is going to miss. You're going to reroll that hit. It's going to probably be a hit. So you're going to end up getting 3 hits, probably 3 wounds. Mathematically, you're probably going to get 2 wounds through. 2 wounds. Plus the save that they're going to have. Remember, this is basically AP 4 because it's going to have Ignores Cover because you're going to be guiding this thing. So, you know, best case scenario, it's AP 2 and you only have your 4-up save because I Ignore Cover. Or you only have your 2-up save, which becomes a 4-up save. Okay, so yeah, this thing is great. Getting the rerolls to wound. It doesn't do very much damage against things with Armor of Contempt that are super high toughness, that have a lot of wounds. Nothing's really that great against those types of things. Though, these are really good against just about everything else. Any other 130-point tank that this thing goes toe-to-toe with, it will basically one-shot it. Same profile as the Hammerhead, you know, 14-inch, or 10-inch move, 14 wounds, T10, all that's the same. These can also take smart missile systems. They can take the accelerated burst cannons, which is these things down here. So you can either take smart missile systems, which I think this is actually, yeah, this actually has on it, which are only 3 shots. Yeah, there was a misprint on the other one for like the broadsides or whatever. 3 shots apiece, indirect fire, strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. I'd probably start taking Seeker Missiles nowadays. It's nice to have some indirect fire stuff. They're AP 0, but yeah, I mean, indirect at 30 inches is very nice to have. Both of these can take those same upgrades, and we kind of went over all this. So yeah, you know, you get damaged, you're -1 to hit if you have 1 to 5 wounds remaining. All vehicles that are over, I think over 10 wounds have this ability, maybe over 12. Devilfish, 75 points, I think. Yep, 75 points. So I have most of these memorized. I just, you know, I have to memorize like, how many units are there? Like 1,600? Probably more than that. So 75 points for this guy. 13 wounds, toughness 9, 12-inch move. I like that profile. 12, 9, 13, I'm about that. It's got a 3-up save. This has rapid redeployment. You can disembark even if it advanced. So it's going a minimum of 13 inches. You're getting out 3 inches, so that's a minimum of a 16-inch move on your breachers. They have a 10-inch range. That is 22 inches, right? No, 26 inches. I don't know why I said 22. 26-inch threat range with one of these things, minimum. So you go from a 10-inch threat range with your guns, plus your move in advance, to a much further range of 26 minimum. On average, it's going to be about a 28. These also have the accelerator burst cannon in front, just one. They can take smart missiles, so you take one on each side. That's 6 shots of smart missiles. Get out, shoot stuff after you move real fast, and you can take 2 seeker missiles. So these can all take 2 seeker missiles. These piranhas, basically all the Tau vehicles, can take seeker missiles. We're getting close to the end here. Finally. Razorshark Strike Fighter. Alright, 20-inch move, T10, 3-up save, 12 wounds. 20-inch move, T10, 3-up save, 12 wounds, yeah. OC0 becomes OC1 when you pick that middle objective. It does not have hover, though, so it would have to fly on it. And there's a little trick to these things, though, with flyers, just so that you guys know. GW is stupid, and they made fly very stupid in this edition. So when you have your building that's like 12 inches tall, these things can go up to the base of a building, go up 12 inches, and then come down 12 inches. So yeah, this is basically, you can basically move like 4 inches, not 20, depending on the terrain that's around you. So a little trick there. I know you guys like my little tricks, my little theory hammer tricks. I don't care about this thing at all. I'm just going to talk about it real quick. It has a quad ion turret. It has an accelerator burst cannon, quad ion turret, 2 seeker missiles. Cool. So the quad ion turret is a strength 8 AP2 2 damage weapon with hazardous. It's 8 shots, and it is twin linked, so it is rerolling wounds. The Sun Sharker is only 150 points, so it's actually a relatively cheap flyer. I just don't think it brings enough to the table. It's okay. It's okay for 150 points. Your accelerator burst cannon can be a missile pod, so it just doesn't have enough firepower. You want a good flyer? Take a Tiger Shark, the regular Tiger Shark. It's 275 points, it's toughness 11, it has 18 wounds, and it has like 1,000 different guns on it, 2 of which are railguns, 6 of which are seeker missiles, and then 2 of which are ion blasters, plus it's got its missile racks. That thing fucks, okay? For 275 points, or maybe 270, the Tiger Shark is ridiculous. Alright, so it's a vehicle, it's an aircraft, it flies. This thing's ability is that it gets +1 against units when it shoots them. It gets +1 to hit as long as you can't also fly. Okay, yeah, so that we're done talking about that shit. Sun Shark Bomer. This guy can bomb you. Each time this unit ends a normal move, you can select one enemy unit it moved over, roll 6d6. For each 4+, you suffer a mortal wound. So it basically has the grenade strat as long as it moves over something. It also has a missile pod, 2 seeker missiles, and 2 ion rifles. The ion rifles are also strength at AP2 2 damage. They only have 3 shots apiece though, but it has 2 of them, and they are twin linked. So 8 shots on this one with twin linked, 6 shots on this one with twin linked, with arguably a better ability. The Sun Shark Bomer is 150 points. I was looking at this. This is 165 points, not 150. So excuse me, I was looking at the wrong thing. Brain damage and all. Yeah, 165, 150, absolutely the better one. They both have deadly to -D3. They're both vehicles. This has a missile pod. It's got the 2 ion rifles. It's got seeker missiles. Cool. So it has a missile pod, so it can be a twin missile pod. So this has 2 twin missile pods, 2 ion rifles, 150 points, plus bombing. Not bad. Not bad. Becomes OC1 when it's near that objective that you pick. Stormsurge. I really hope this is the last unit. There's probably these fucking fortifications that no one ever cares about or uses. Stormsurge, moves 8, toughness 11. It's a shame he's not toughness 12, but he does have a 2-up, 4-up, so he makes up for it with this. 20 wounds, leadership 7, and an OC of 6, so a little bit bigger than a Land Raider. Just one OC more than a Land Raider or things of that caliber that are OC 5. He's OC 6. This thing has a million different guns. It's got a cluster rocket, destroyer missiles, pulse driver, 2 smart missiles, and a twin Tau flamer, and then thunderous footfalls. Cluster rockets, 46 shots, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage, I don't care. Destroyer missiles, strength 16, AP 4, D6 plus 2 damage, I do care. That seems good. Then you have the pulse blast cannon. This weapon is hilariously strong. It's strength 24, AP 6. It's the only thing in the game that I can recall off the top of my head, besides like maybe a volcano cannon from Forge World or something, that's AP 6. It's a flat 12 fucking damage. You give this thing +1 to hit. It's hitting on 3s. It only needs to hit and wound with one of these, because it's AP 6 and it's 12 damage. So you hit with 2 of them, you fail your wound, whatever, fine. It's AP 6 and 12 damage. Your Lancer has died. Your Hammerhead is down to 2 wounds. Your Rhino is dead. Plus it's got all of its other guns on it that can do some damage. It's way too expensive for what it does. I think it's too expensive for what it does. The Pulse Blast Cannon, one-shotting stuff is really cool until you hit something with an invuln, and then they just pass their invuln, and you feel bad. The nice thing about the Pulse Blast Cannon is it can get 6 shots at strength 10, AP2, and to 4 damage. That could be really nice with lethal hits, turns 1, 2, and 3. Because then you're just getting 4 damage wounds through. You don't worry about the strength 10. You're just re-rolling your hits with Tetras. Boom, 6 shots. Here's 2 wounds, AP3 basically because of ignores cover, 4 damage flat. So, not so bad there. Yeah, alright. So the Pulse Driver Cannon, this is the other gun that he can take instead of this. It's going to be D6 plus 3 shots, strength 12, AP3, and a flat 3 damage. Don't even do that, just don't. Take the Pulse Blast Cannon because it's better. You then can take a Twin Airbursting Frag, which is an upgrade to your Smart Missile, I believe. It's D6 shots, strength 3, AP0, 1 damage, twin length, blast, heavy, and direct fire. No one fucking cares. The Smart Missile's better, it's heavy, it's indirect, it's also twin linked, it has more shots, it has a higher strength, sorry, it has less shots, it has a higher strength, and it's just better. It's better to be strength 5 than strength 3. So, that's how I feel. And then your Twin Tau Flamer, because it's going to have 2 of these Smart Missiles, so it's going to be 6 shots with this, and that's not bad. So, its Twin Tau Flamer can be replaced with one of the following: Air Bursting Frag or a Burst Cannon. There's an argument to be made for taking the Twin Air Bursting Frag instead of the Flamer if you're just trying to get as much out of line of sight shooting as possible. That'll give you 6 shots plus D6 at a different strength. It's just strength 3. You can't do anything at strength 3 with no AP, 1 damage, no other abilities, no like anti-infantry 4-up or anything special. It's just garbage, dude. It is twin linked, but yeah, no. Alright, so its Pulse Driver Cannon can be a Pulse Blast Cannon. Yeah, you do that every single time. And then it can replace its other stuff. So its abilities. It is Deadly Demise D6 plus 2, so this thing goes boom. It does a minimum of 3 mortal wounds to you if you're within range of it when it explodes. Heavy Walker can move over things that are 4 inches or less in height, so half the terrain in the middle of the table is going to be 4 inches or less in height. Can move right over it, depending on the layout. It just depends, but certain layouts, the 2 pieces that are here, those are 4 inches or less in height. The ones over here are 5, so you can't move over these ones, but these ones are 4 or less, so you can just walk right over those. Same with Imperial Knights, same with, you know, a lot of units that have this ability, Soul Grinders, things like that. Support system, he can ignore all modifiers to his hit roll. And then he has this Titan Killer. Each time this model makes an attack that targets a Titanic or Towering unit, you can reroll the hit roll. So, a monolith, basically, or something like that. There's not a whole lot of towering things besides Imperial Knights. Like even Magnus and Mortarion, they're not towering, they're not Titanic, they're just monsters. So, not super duper good, but fine. He gets damaged, he has all these guns, he's a walker, he's a vehicle. He's 400 points. This thing is 400 goddamn points. It's too many points. Do I really have to talk about these things? You know what, guys? My throat hurts. I'm going to leave this here for a second. You can read this if you want to. I don't give a fuck about any of these, so here you go. Alright, you did it. Good job. That's the Tau Codex, guys. That's the end. We're on the Crusade rules. That's like the 2nd edition Codex cover. Maybe 3rd. It's a really old picture. Oh my god. This was so much fun. This is a very, very strong codex, and I haven't even begun to unlock the combos in here because my brain is still, like, spinning from this. Like, how do you read this and not just, like, have a heart attack? This is a crazy detachment. This detachment, crazy detachment. So, I'm going to make a Tactica. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, so be sure to hit that bell icon, be sure to subscribe, you know, leave a comment, just do all that stuff. So that when I make this tactical video for the actual codex, you get a notification. And I think that's going to pretty much do it for me. I just wanted to review the codex. It's already been like 5 hours long, and that's just how these go, I guess. Maybe I just don't talk fast enough, or maybe I just go off on too many tangents. But if you guys like this kind of content, if you like my video, join the hunt against the like button, subscribe to Theory Hammer, hit Nurgle's bell icon, leave a comment down below. Check out our other videos as well, because we have all kinds of videos out there. We have Tacticas, we have Codex reviews, we have like battle reports. I'm making a series about tips and tricks. Maybe that's out by the time this comes out. I don't know, but you'll have to find out by doing all the YouTube stuff so that you can get all my content. So, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I got to go on a Kroot hunting pack raid with some of these Kroot Hoth flockers. So I'll see you guys in the next one.